Hey y'all, it's your girl T back with another live, y'all. Okay, so we are going to attempt, we're going to attempt a bowl koozie. I tried this one. It looks okay. Not perfect, but we got it, right? All right. So, anywho, if you don't know me, I'm your girl T from T So Crafty. Back with another live. We're going to attempt a bowl koozie on here. Please consider checking out the channel, liking all the content on the channel, checking out all of the other content on the channel, subscribing to the channel, liking the video, sharing out the video, leaving me a comment because I do love interacting with you all and I do answer every single one of them. From our returning members and subscribers, welcome back, fam. Welcome back. Miss Valerie, hey, queen. Okay, so what we are back to do now is we are going to attempt a bowl koozie, okay? So what I did was this first one I used that batting and it feels kind of bulky. I don't like that. So we'll use our batting on something else. I don't like that batting. So I took some lightweight fusible fleece, and as you can see, my X is not perfect on the back, but we have sewn both of these, okay, like so with an X. Now that one's a little bit better, but y'all know me. I can't sew straight. That's okay. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to fold this in half, right? And you want to make sure that everything is lined up, getting the excess things out of the way. Now you want to I can use this. Y'all might not be able to see me measure this, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna come into, so this is our 2-inch mark. Now the only thing is my my fabric marker is over here somewhere, but it ain't really marking like it should. So I'm just going to put a light mark right here. You won't be able to see this anyway. So we're going to come up into, and then we're going to actually you need to be this way because you're going to kind of do something like this. Okay. I'm not going to mark the other side. I'm just going to gauge it. Up designs. Hey girl, hey. So essentially what you should do is come up 2 inches, in 1 inch, draw that line. And like I said, I'm just going to guesstimate it. This is not going to be, because it's really just that edge right there. So I'm just going to guesstimate, okay? But for the record, it is, this is a 10 by 10 square and 10 by 10 lining. You want to go up to N1. And then all we're going to do is we are going to attempt, okay? We're going to attempt to sew on that line. I'm going to back stitch, and then I'm going to come all the way and let it run off. Raise my needle, raise my presser foot, cut my thread. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So what you do to one, you do to both, right? And then we are going to same thing, cut our thread, and then what we're going to do is just cut those little edges off. You don't want to cut your hey Donzel, yes, part 2 of the live is here. You do not want to cut off your stitches, right? And ultimately these squares should be even, but they not. Okay. Well, they're pretty close to being even. But now what we're going to do is you're going to fold this so it wasn't half. Oops, it wasn't half like this, right? It wasn't half like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open it up. Let me see if I can get y'all a little better. Okay, so it's like this. We're going to open it up and we're going to match these seams up right here. See, I got a seam here and I got a seam here. Whoops, seam here, seam there. So we're going to match it up. Hi, Donzel. Welcome in. All right. And we're going to match it right there. And then we're going to do pin everything across this top. Now you want to get this as even as possible. You don't want to skip any measuring or pinning there, so to speak. I'm just going to kind of give myself a little guide there. Oh, I drew on my marker. I mean on my mat, and I didn't mean to do that, but I did. And like I said, I'm not really measuring, but for the record, again, it is up 2 inches, in 2 inches, and up an inch. All right, so now we're going to do that same thing, right? Let it down, and I'm going to back stitch simply because I know that we're cutting that off. Okay. And we're going to, same thing here. Back stitch. Back stitching is going to be real important. All right. Raise your needle, raise your presser foot, cut your thread, and there you go. So you will now have something where when you open it up, it's starting to take its bowl shape. So see, we are starting to take our bowl shape. Okay, so that's all we're going to do to that one for now. And we're going to get these out of the way, and we're going to cut these. And again, I'm going to fold it in half, making sure everything up here lines up. Okay, and I'm just going to guesstimate that line again. Okay, and ideally you want to use a fabric marker, but my fabric marker is the other one is back there in the other room, and the one that I have up here it's being rather ghetto, and I will say it's probably because it was one of the cheaper ones. Okay, so when you get a fabric marker, make sure you get one that's really going to work for you. Okay, get one that's really going to work for you. All right, so we're going to do the same thing that we did on that side to this side. And remember, it is imperative to back stitch and let it run off, okay? Boom, boom. We're going to go ahead and cut those corners off. And you can cut it close, but just don't cut your stitch. Again, we're going to fold it up, and we're going to line those, we're going to line everything up so we can do what we did on the other side. And I like to start with those seams because generally if your seams match up, everything else should pretty much fall in line. So I'm matching those seams. Now, even though my seams match right here, sometimes you gotta stretch your fabric just a little bit, but you don't want to stretch it too much that you put the fleece or the quote unquote batting into stress. Okay, we don't want to do that. All right, so everything is looking good, lining up. Big Rooster, what it do? All right, so we're going to, again, we're estimating these corners because y'all already know. Okay, I ain't gotta keep telling y'all because y'all already know. Pure shenanigans, right? Pure shenanigans. All right, so here we go. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna drop this needle, and we're gonna in a few stitches. We're gonna back stitch, and we're gonna let it come on, roll off, stop it, lift our press foot, lift our needle, and sometimes our thread cutter does a good job, while other times I don't know. Like, I don't know. Other times it's like it be having some issues. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna let it stop, raise the needle, raise the presser foot, cut the thread, and boom boom. And then we're gonna do the same thing. But remember guys, do not cut your threads, because if you do, whew, it's gonna be real hard to recover from that one. Okay. All right, so again, we have our bowl shape for both parts. Okay, so essentially when you do this, you should sew a X. You cut it 10 by 10, sew a X. Your X should be straight though, right? Your X shouldn't be crooked, it should be straight. Not that mine is, but I'm just letting you know. Okay, so now you want to match your fabrics. So this is a directional print, right? Directional fabric. And by the way, this is 1 fat quarter from, and I still have enough where I can do 2 more bow koozies. So anywho, you have your fabric and you want to make sure that it is lined up. Oh, thank you, Big Rooster, for the super sticker. I appreciate that. All right, so we're gonna turn this inside out, y'all. Okay, inside out. You want to make sure everything matches up. Okay, and I just got to make sure, because honey, once you sew this thing, if it ain't sewed right, y'all already know. Okay, so I'm going to try my best, and y'all know I'm still new at this game right here. Okay, at this sewing game, I'm still new at this, but we're gonna do the best we can. After all, we sew to learn together, right? And we're going to learn from each other's mistakes. Okay? I already told y'all, if y'all really want to know how to sew, will you to the point where you can make you some clothes, baby, you got to go see Unbiased, okay? You got to go see Unbiased. Because I'm definitely not there for sewing clothes yet, okay? But we do what we do. All right? We do what we do. And we're just going to clip. You're clipping everything around, all your seams, all your points or peacocks, whatever you want to call them. We sewing all of those around. Now you're going to sew this all the way around, but you're going to leave yourself a good bit of an opening. Okay, so you should have something that looks like this, right? something similar to this. This is our bowl shape. And then we're just going to start, not necessarily on a corner, but you're going to start down just a little bit. You're going to sew all the way around till you get back here, but you're going to leave that opening. Does that make sense? Everybody with me? Okay? Everybody with me? Hopefully y'all with me. This right here is really not going to be, supposed to be not a long live, okay? But we're going to see. Every time I say that, it ends up being a long live. But so far, we're doing good. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed, okay? All right, y'all. So again, I'm going to make sure these points line up. I'm not going to take this clip off because I'm going to start somewhere a little. I'm going to get y'all in the view of the sewing machine in just a second, okay? All right. So, wait a minute. All right, so there we go. So remember, we're on that corner, but we're not technically starting at the peak of the corner. That's the word I'm looking for. Now I'm gonna go down a bit. I'm gonna back stitch, okay? So that way, when I get back to that side where I first started at. And y'all, I just sew right over those little, I don't know what you call them, but those seams. I just kind of sew right over those. Okay. I sew right over those. I'm going to walk this to the end, and I'm slow walking it, right? Because I'm going to raise my presser foot and my needle, and I'm going to gently turn my work, right? And I'm going back right in that line of stitching that I last ended on, hopefully, right? And then I'm going to back stitch a little bit, and then I'm going to come on around. Hey, Miss Nikki, welcome in. All right, so I'm just going to keep going, right? And when you come to those seams, okay, you want to be easy when you come over those seams, all right? If you have to walk it, okay? Now, I do have a pretty hefty needle on here, but it still seems to be giving me just a little bit of grief. And that's okay. We're going to walk it to the end, right? Raise our needle, raise our presser foot, and we're going to turn our work, okay? We're going to turn our work, and we're going to, in hopes, be back to that same line of stitching, okay? And we're just going to come back down, and remember, as you get to that seam, which this is coming together a little bit faster than I thought, okay? And I'm going to back stitch over that seam, and now I'm just going to walk it because I'm almost to the end of a corner, and I'm just going to walk it, right? Walk it. Raise the needle, raise the presser foot. We're going to turn our work. We are making a bowl koozie, Miss Nikki. It can be used for hot or cold foods. Okay? I'm going to back stitch a bit. Now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to back stitch a bit more because I didn't quite catch right there. Hey, Miss Anita, welcome in, welcome in. All right, y'all. So we're gonna keep walking it now. I'm gonna remove this clip because I'm almost to that seam, and I don't want to have to work my machine really, really hard, right? Even though that's what it's designed to do, I don't want to work it too hard. Okay. So now I am back at this line of stitching that I started at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back stitch a few right here, okay? I'm going to raise my needle, raise my presser foot, and I'm going to cut my thread, okay? So here is my gap, right? Or my opening. It's not very big, and if you find yourself where it's not big enough for you, just get your seam ripper, okay? So this is what we have, okay? This is what your bowl koozie should look like so far. So you have sewed everything around as even as possible. And when it comes down to cutting your fabric, y'all, oof, that's what I struggle at, okay? I struggle cutting the fabric. But anywho, I guess with time you'll be able to get it, right? So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this just a little bit, okay? Now I advise you to use your seam ripper. Don't don't do like me, okay? Be better than me. All right, so I'm gonna open this just a little bit, like so, right? And then I'm just going to reach in and I'm going to grab the opposing or opposite corner. It doesn't mean that you have to, when you go in, grab that opposite corner. That's just what T does, okay? And I only made this today, right? So I don't know if it's the right way, if it's the wrong way, but we're going to see. And we're going to try to get these corners out as much as possible. Now, I do have one of those little point turner things, but I don't think that's going to be wise for me, okay? Okay, so this is what you're looking like. And you still have this little opening right here, right? So you got something looking like this. And my fabric on the inside, because it's directional, it matches the fabric on the back side, right? So now what you want to do is just kind of straighten out your fabric, and we're going to close off this little edge that we left open. Can y'all see that? Okay. So we're just going to close off this little edge that we left open, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to just fold everything in so that it matches, okay? So that it matches like so. And I'm going to pin this or clip this at the top. Now, I'm not going to worry about that point right there too much because we're going to go all the way around. We're going to top stitch that, all of the things after we close this down. So actually, let's move a pin or clip here. Okay. That way we can be sure that we're going to get everything, right? And you want to start. Now that corner, it's important because it's one of your points or your peaks, whatever you want to call it. So it is important to get it right to the best of your ability, okay? So I'm just working with that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down on this first side first. I'm going to try to catch it into that same line of stitching, but if not, I will catch it on my top stitch, hopefully, okay? All right, and I'm going to just go down this side right here. I'm going to back stitch because that's at that little point or peak. And that's all I'm going to sew there because we only had that little piece. This way is where we had everything. And we caught that, and we will get rid of that edge. So now I'm going to start in the seam right here. And I'm going to go down as much as possible. Miss Cheryl, hey Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Shout out to all the members, subscribers, and moderators. Y'all are the best. All right. And we're going to just keep going. Okay. You want to keep going. All right. So now I'm going to raise the needle, raise the presser foot. I'm going to cut my thread. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push everything out. Okay. So this is what we're looking like. We've closed up that little edge. Now to keep our fabric nice and tight, okay, I'm just going to top stitch around the entire whatchamacallit. Now see right here, I didn't push that point out real good, so the point is kind of down in there. That's okay. Y'all, you're gonna eat out this, right? All right. So you can go in about 3/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, whatever floats your boat, okay? I'm going in at about 3/8 of an inch, right? All right. And I'm just going to kind of walk my way around this. Now where you get that bulk at, it's going to be a little hard over that bolt, but just walk it, okay? Walk your machine. When you get to those corners, go to as further as you can, raise your presser foot, raise your needle, okay? And then you are going to lower everything back down, and you're just going to repeat that process till you get all the way around, okay? I'm walking it because we're almost at that end, or at the end, and I'm getting ready to turn, trying to remain in that same last line of stitching, okay? Trying to remain in that same last line of stitching. Now, I'm going to turn this just a little bit because I want to make sure that if I missed anything on an edge, that it's going to catch it, right? Okay. And we're at another corner. Raise your presser foot, raise your needle. And we are almost back where we started, y'all. So this comes together pretty fast. So if you were to sew to sell these or mass produce these, depending on how much you paid for your fabric, depending on how much you paid for your fabric, the time it takes you, all of that good stuff, you probably could get you a good $9 to $10 for these, okay? And what I'm doing right here is I'm just cutting off that little excess there. I'm going around, I'm checking everything. I don't see any holes. I don't see any of that. So I'd like to think we did pretty well on that. Okay. That's what we have. Thank you, Miss Nikki. That is what we have, y'all. And we have us some French fries, some pizza, popsicles, candy, strawberries, hamburgers, cupcakes, donuts, you name it. So this is our bowl koozie, y'all. Nice and cute. So it took us roughly I'll call it 28 minutes to put this together. Hey, precious pieces. I'm trying to tell you, we ain't had no power till about 1 or 2 something this morning. We just got over a good bit of rain, but it's still real dark and cloudy out there. So I imagine we are going to get some more of that Thank you, Donzel. So we made us a bowl koozie, and I tell you what, I do not. This is the first one that I attempted, and I used this wrapping zap. I do not like that. The wrapping zap is really, 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 really bulky. So this is wrapping zap. See how bulky that is? That's bulky compared to this. Nice and flat. Okay. And we reduce that bulk. But nonetheless, we do have it. Now, if you want to use this in the microwave, hey, Bedazzling Designs, you're waiting in your what era? Is there a pattern for it, Miss Anita? No, or at least I don't have a pattern, but I can tell you the measurements that I use. So, oh, okay, Miss Valerie. Hey, Mama Vi. So I can tell you the measurements that I use. So as you can see, my cutting skills, they ain't all there, but it is, if I check it, it's on point. Yep. Even though it's crooked, it's on point. It's a 10 by 10. Okay? 10 by 10. So you're going to need, oh, you're waiting on your sewing machine to be delivered. Some of the roads and bridges in Columbia are flooded. Yeah, Nikki, you know we ain't prepared for no mess like that. I wouldn't be surprised if South Carolina shut the schools down. So you know how we do down south. We ain't used to this mess, right? So you want 2 pieces of batting at 10 by 10. You want 2 pieces of fabric. It does not necessarily have to be food, right? But I just think if you're going to sell these, food looks better because, or I guess more enticing for the sale, and is a marketing point because it's a bold koozie and the fabric kind of, goes along with it. But anyway, it does not have to be. That's just a marketing strategy, right? But 10 by 10 of your wrap and zap, or like I said, I don't really like this wrap and zap, but if you choose to use wrap and zap for it to be microwave safe, then use that. Oh, they've already closed the school. See, girl, you know how we do. And then you want 2 pieces of lining cut 10 by 10. And then what you would do is the X. Yeah, see that X right here in that dark fabric? So when you first started out, you want to go from sew an X, one corner. So say you started here, you go all the way down to this corner. Same thing to that corner on both pieces. Then you are going to fold it in half. Okay. So I folded it in half, but it was flat at the time. Okay. I came in from the bottom, from the fold, right? Because you want to use a folded edge. I came in 2 inches and I came up 1 inch, right? Sewed on that diagonal on both sides, cut it off, being careful not to cut my seams off. Then once I did that, I folded it just like this. Okay. I clipped here, here, and here, making sure I matched everything up, and I repeated the process. Come into, up 1, into, up 1, sew on the diagonal, cut that off, and then repeat it for the other one. For the other part of the bowl koozie. Now, after you do that, you're going to turn the bottom side of this would be your fleece or whatever type of batting you use. Okay, it would be at the bottom, and fleece would be on the inside because you would have the 2 right sides together, and then you would sew all the way around, leaving yourself an opening. I strongly suggest about 4 to 5 inches, but you could do it with less. Okay, I just did it with less, so you can do it with less. And then turn it inside out, sew that first piece where you left the opening at. You want to sew it together first. Okay, And then after you do that, go around and top stitch. Okay, go around and top stitch like so, all the way around, right? And I'm just evening up a few things. But that's how you end up with a bowl koozie, y'all. Okay. And if I can do this, and like I said, there's no specific pattern that I used. If I run across one, I would be more than happy to share that with you. But yeah, $1.25 fabric from the Dollar Tree, right? And what I used that second time, this is what I use right here. Let me see if I can get it in the camera for y'all. Okay, this is what I use: the Pelham Fusible Fleece 987 lightweight iron-on. Okay, that is what makes it less bulky. Now there are people that can sew, and make a bowl koozie with this wrap and zap. I'm just not there yet. Okay, so to me the wrap and zap is too bulky. It didn't come out as good as this one. Okay, this one came out pretty daggone good, right? So you can try it with the wrap and zap because that's what's going to make it microwave safe. But this fleece that I use as an iron on, this will not go in my microwave, okay? Because this is not microwave safe. This batting, or let me show you on here, is wrap and zap that is microwave safe, okay? All right. All right, y'all. So that's all I have for y'all for today. I have went live twice today, so if you didn't catch the full live of either one, I greatly appreciate if you would go back and watch that live, watch both of them in its entirety. And thank you all for spending a portion of your day with me. Until next time, peace, be blessed, stay crafty. I'm your girl T, and I'm out. Bye, y'all. Be blessed, be safe. Take care.